On the same day that I went to a train show in Omaha, I had quite possibly one of the craziest rail fanning trips in all of 2024. But like many rail fanning trips, the day started off simple with a northbound manifest in the outskirts of Omaha. We attended the train show as planned and did not return trackside until several hours later that afternoon. While driving back to Lincoln, we decided to take the long way round and went through the town of Ashland, and around the same time found out about a northbound tanker train with a Union Pacific SD70M trailing. We soon caught up to this train, but it was taking the Y through Ashland while we were driving up to it. Thankfully, however, we were able to overtake it at a later crossing to get a better look. Not long after this, we returned into the town of Ashland to get a look at some maintenance of way equipment that was parked on the tracks around here, including a Herzog train. Not too far away was some rolling stock that was much more interesting, dating back to 1941, and many fallen flag railroads still evident on these old cars.
Look at this. Look at the... Yeah, you can take these.
Whoa! Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
It's still got, oh my gosh, it's still got its logo.
Right next to these cars was some more remnants of railroading history, as there were the remains of a bridge that was formerly owned by the Burlington route. All things considered, this should have been where this trip came to an end. We had a good train show, we saw some pretty good trains. This should have been it. We were driving back to Lincoln anyway. But while we were looking at these maintenance of way cars, we heard about another very special train that was coming onto the Creston subdivision. That was an empty coal train that came from Martin Lake, Texas, off the CPKC interchange. And if there's one thing you should know about this train, it's that it always has good motive power. How do I know this? Because time and time again, I've tried to catch one of these, but some stroke of bad luck has kept me from doing so, whether it be just underestimating how long it would take for it to arrive and running out of time, getting it mixed up with the motive power of another train somehow, or, in one occasion, the coal train getting stuck behind another train with no crew.
True story.
Some of this you could just chalk down to my rail fanning inexperience, but some of this was just legit bad luck. I have not had the greatest of luck with CPKC this year, despite their great consists. And yet, here was a train, the exact train that I was looking for, coming our way. And not only was that some pretty good persuasion, but also, in typical Martin Lake fashion, the consist on this was insane. The lead unit was a Canadian Pacific AC-44 rebuild. That rebuild had a Nathan P3 horn, which is not very common, I had never heard it before. Trailing behind that was an SD-70 Mac in the executive scheme. Behind that was a Heritage 2-9, which is not very common on coal trains around here. And behind that was a standard Gevo. But all of this on one train, the same train that I had been trying to catch for months, was way too good to pass up. So we found ourselves a good spot and waited just a few minutes for this Martin Lake coal empty to arrive. And best part of all was that, unlike the misfortune of its predecessors, this train had green signals and a clear speed all the way to Lincoln. But we weren't going to let it end just there. We were still heading back to Lincoln anyway, so we figured the chase was on. After all, we still wanted to hear that Nathan P3 on full display.